with no ultimatum. Proverbials conveying my verbatim proof operations.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your cure for the Monday blues is back. Pride Rules MMA is back on MMA Mondays. We are proudly brought to you by ABK Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, and 2 Minute Warning Sports 360. I am your host, the Reverend Tommy D, joined with me by my favorite Hispanic, El Profesor, Omar Sangarima.
Oh,
what is up, brother? Happy Easter. How
Happy
you
Easter,
doing?
bro. I'm doing pretty well. Better now that I moved up to the favorite Hispanic. I thought the local Mexican food guy would have been there, but you know what? I took the crown. I like that. I'm proud.
You've always had the crown. You've never relinquished the crown.
Nah, that makes me feel good, man. I'm telling you, I can bring back the brown and gold then that I used to wear in Massachusetts. You know, but that was my past life. But,
oh man, so this should have been a great weekend, buddy. It was Easter. We were 1 week away from finally seeing Khabib and El Kakui go at it, and the injury bug strikes again. But before we get into that, we always talk about on this show the dangers of weight cutting. Now, we talked about it with Uriah Hall, when he had the seizure in the car on the way to the weigh-ins. And I'm not going to get into the whole spiel again about the electrolytes with the water loading and things like that. But I was, reading on Bleacher Report today, and Alexandre Herrera
nice.
Was fighting for Combate, has been in a coma since January.
So long time.
Yeah. He's a 26-year-old kid. While he was in the hospital, he was having multiple seizures and a heart attack. His dad was told by the doctors that he had rhabdomyolysis.
Yeah, Uncle Rhabdo, right. The stuff that CrossFitters get, where your muscles try to eat themselves.
Yeah, it was, basically, it could lead to kidney failure, but in
100%.
this case, it caused internal bleeding with a blood clot in his brain.
Good Lord.
Our buddy, fucking Pedernales, told Combate that the doctors indicated heat stroke was the problem and not dehydration.
Of course not. Because that would be an admission that he's taking years off of people's lives and or killing them. All right? Good God.
I mean, this kid's 26 years old, man.
Yeah.
How big was this weight cut?
It had to have been massive, and it had to have been massively mishandled. There's a combo where, we've all seen pretty big weight cuts, but if you do it with enough time, if you do it with enough preparation and slowly enough, the body abides, all right? The body's like the Big Lebowski. But this is not the first time that a ferocious weight cut has come out of this camp. All right, people are dropping, hitting their heads on shit. People are fainting in saunas and shit. These guys, they're doing
Jose Aldo tripping with a cup of piss in front of USADA.
Right? I'm telling you, he was lightheaded. That's why he was so dehydrated that peeing made him lightheaded, and he was like, and then, that's what happened. But bro, like, this camp can't cut weight safely, at least. All right, so somewhere Gleason T-Bow is shaking his head in agreement. I mean, because he's seen the devil on more than one occasion. He knows a thing or two about cutting crazy amounts of weight with or without that camp. You know what I mean? So come on, man. A coma for now going on 4 months, and he's 26. Remember when you were 26? All right, we were bulletproof at 26. You know? Like, come on, man. The things we could do to our bodies. With 26, and he's a pro fighter, young savage, and this poor bastard's been in a coma for almost 4 months, going on 4 months, depending on when in January it happened. Come on, man.
Yeah, I know that the reports were saying that his organs were starting to fail, and now they're starting to be stable. So I just hope the kid wakes up. Fuck the fighting career.
Seriously.
Just wake up. You know.
I hope he lives.
Just wake up.
I hope he lives. Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Imagine being a dad. You're a dad, bro. I don't want to make it grisly, right? But say 20 years down the line, yeah, imagine getting that news. Oh yeah, we think his kidneys are gonna die. Good grief. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't imagine. I have nieces.
I couldn't sit there on a daily basis like that. Like that's
No, I'd be going bananas. And you know, both of the two of us, you know where we'd be going. We'd be taken out of the coach's ass. We'd be asking for answers. Like who let this happen? Who was in charge of this? Who oversaw this horrendous cut? Yeah, exactly. It's terrible. It's criminal. It's it's borderline criminal, honestly. Somebody's asleep at the switch. I don't care what's going on. If it was one time, okay. Shit happens, right? But so often, come on. You can't tell me that.
I hate to lead off with something like that, but you know, with what we've been seeing lately, and you know, the rumors of extra weight classes, and you know, it's just like we've been saying, it's going to take somebody to die in the States for it to be changed. That's what it's going to take.
Yeah, because it's already happened abroad, right? We've seen a couple times that it has happened abroad, unfortunately, and none of those stories end with an Easter miracle. You know, they die, they don't rise, and it's unfortunate. You know, so I don't know. Look
at Aldo in his last fight against Holloway. How bad he looked when he got on the scale. He was actually starting to cry.
He looked terrible, and it was funny, and I think he was happy that he could cry. That's how dehydrated he was. He's like, oh shit, I have water in my tear ducts at least. You know, he's trying to lick at his own face. That's how thirsty the madman was. It's terrible. Yeah. It's at that, and it's one of those things where it's like you see a fighter like that. At that stage in his career, at that age, it gets more dangerous. That's why we're so shocked at this 26-year-old kid having this happen to him, because later in life it's even worse. Your body just stops wanting to cut, and they're still pushing him. Move up to 155. Have a Donald Cerrone campaign, and then right off into the sunset. All right, open 17 more burger joints. We'll come back to you in 3 years, and you'll be fat as fuck, but you'll be happy, making some money on the side. All right. You know, being like a magistrate or whatever the hell you can be in Brazil. Come on, all right? You don't need to be cutting. Or falling down and hitting your head. Wasn't that what Bat Boy down there had happened to him, right? Same camp? Renan Barão.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's out of, I think he's out of American Top Team now. He's smartened up.
Yeah, well, I mean, because and that's crazy to say that American Top Team is a step up in the weight cutting department, because they've had some issues. They push their guys pretty fucking hard. You know, you come to them and say, I wanna drop 35 pounds, or I want to drop a couple weight classes, and you give them a serious look, they'll say yes. But if American Top Team is a step off the gas when it comes to ferocious weight cuts, you know you're doing it badly. I hate to say this, but I don't know what's going on down there, and I don't know what the need is. Are they just? Let me ask you this straight out, Tommy: is it the fact that they're still trying to make the same cuts that they used to, without the IV assistance? They're just being dogged about it, or what's going on?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's no IVs in Brazil. You know what I mean? I don't know.
True.
I don't even know if they have the IV stuff in Brazil. I don't know if that's offered to these guys. But at 26, who knows how long he's really been doing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
He might not know how to cut weight correctly.
But then that's his coaches. Like, you know.
Or he might have had an issue already, you know, maybe with his kidneys or something like that was preventing him from cutting the weight that he wanted to cut. And this was his body's way of saying, you know what? This is what I'm going to do to you now.
Exactly.
You know, it's a sick thing to say, and it sounds kind of callous to, you know, the way that I just put it. But what other way can you put it, man? What other way can you put it?
It's bad, bro.
It's not dumb luck.
No, it's a pattern of, at the very least, carelessness at this point in time. At the very least. And how many times do you want to have carelessness associated with a coaching staff involved in the fight game? All right, you can't be careless in this fight game. All right, that costs brain cells, that costs years of fruitful life down the road. And with this kid, he's still not out of the woods. Yes, his organs started working, but holy shit, man, this is nuts. It's 2018. We shouldn't hear this bullshit anymore.
And who knows if he'll ever have full brain function or any brain function.
Bro, yeah, he's been, he might wake up and unfortunately have some impairments, and if that's something that's like the best you could hope for, we fucked up a long time ago, as the great jiu-jitsu sage out of San Francisco likes to say, the Rhino himself, Kurt Osiander. But what's going on, man? There's no oversight. There's no nothing. It's the Wild West down there, and then this camp is just wanting to be all crazy. This is not the first time, and what's crazy to me is that I don't think it's going to be the last time, Tommy. These guys are going to continue to push it. They're going to see this as an aberration and say, hey, listen, fuck it. It was on him somehow. No, it wasn't, bro. This is like your 7th report of shit weight cuts, and you're supposedly one of the biggest teams down in Brazil. What's going on?
I don't know, man. Well, like I said, I'm going to keep my eye on this and just to see. Hopefully he wakes up, and I really hope he chooses a different career path, because I don't think fighting will be in his near future.
I hope he can read and write when he wakes up. Let's not pussyfoot around.
Yeah.
Like, we're both talking about the same thing. All right.
Yep.
I hope he can still be with it when he gets up. All right. Jesus.
Well, we'll keep our eye on this story, and any kind of updates that we have, we will definitely talk about on the show, or even post about it on our social media. If you're not following us on social media, you can find us at Pride Rules MMA on Facebook, Pride Rules Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, you name it, we're on there. So, buddy, in baseball, you only get 3 strikes. Well, Tony Ferguson and Khabib got 4, and they struck out.
It's terrible.
Tony Ferguson this weekend was pulled from the undisputed lightweight championship fight against Khabib Nurmagomedov at UFC 223, and Max Holloway has stepped in. Now, the report on how Tony got hurt, I was reading today. He was in the studio, either going to an interview or coming from an interview, saw somebody that he hadn't seen, and kind of like a shocked kind of thing. He tripped, fell, and tore his ACL. So the UFC doctors and his doctors said he is not allowed to fight. How does this happen?
I think we got Conor McGregor spreading banana peels at the Kukui camp. I don't know what's going on. This fight is snake bitten. We were talking about it before the show. How many times? 4?
This is 4.
This is terrible.
Yep. So they're both 2-2 on pulling out on each other. They're both 2-2 on pulling out on each other. They're batting 500. But here's the thing. That's, I think it's great that that Max is stepping up. I know they offered the fight to Brian Ortega, and Ortega said he wanted it, but Max had finally gotten back to the UFC to take the fight, so they gave it to Max. I get it. It's a belt for belt fight. Well, not really belt for belt, but Max Holloway has the opportunity to become a 2-division champ right now, and a defending 2-division champ. Here's my question to you. Where is Conor? He was willing to take a fight against Frankie Edgar in a division that doesn't exist for a belt that doesn't exist. But you know what Conor's graced our presence with, my friend? On Twitter.
A tweet, yeah.
These fighters pull out more times than I do with my cock.
I think he used dick. I mean, just
he used cock.
Oh no, really? He went straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Yeah, but it's cute because they're fighting for your belt, you dumb fuck. Like they're fighting for your fucking belt. This is what I mean. If this doesn't tell you he is never fucking coming back, and you are the most delusional son of a bitch in the world, and I pray for you. I really do. This proves to me that he's not coming back. Don't you think?
I mean, either that or you said it before the show. Maybe I'm stealing your thunder, but maybe he's fat. And he was caught off guard, and
it could be. It could be, but he was fat when he wanted to fight Frankie at 165 pounds, I'm sure. You know what I mean? It's
nobody wants to fight Khabib on short notice.
Here's my take on it, okay? If it was Khabib that pulled out, you probably might have seen Conor try and throw his hat in the ring. If if Holloway somehow beats Khabib, you'll see Conor come back. He don't want none of Khabib. I don't care what he says, dog shit, Dagestani. It's all safe when you're in fucking Dublin behind your phone in your fucking mansion in a silk robe. It's all safe there. He don't want no part of Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Who does?
I don't fucking blame him. I don't blame him.
I mean, Holloway apparently, but Holloway's in a no-lose situation. And Brian Ortega. But they're both in no-lose situations. They move up. If they lose, hey, they're fighting somebody that nobody at 155 wants to fight. If they win, it's one of the biggest upsets in recent memory, and they start making a case for, interdimensional, interweight class supremacy. It's tremendous. All right, imagine the year both of them would have if they could add that to their roster, and then on top of that, they could start calling out the dude that gets the biggest checks for being a coward. So it's a no lose for either Brian Ortega or for Max Holloway. On the other hand, our boy doesn't want any of that, because if he does lose, he gets exposed. A lot of his big money fights that he's thinking about down the line get blown to pieces. All right, the only time he's ever going to fight Khabib is going to be when Khabib's 900 years old, or he's gotten over like 2 cases of staph. And Conor knows it, and he's going to go after him.
Don't you think that those big fights that he wants down the line might not be there due to the fact that he hasn't fucking fought? The last time he fought in the UFC, he had a different president. That was the last time he fought in the UFC.
That's a pretty sobering thought when you put it that way. I know it's only been, not only
2 years.
It's been but even then, just saying, there was another administration.
Oh, excuse me, it was a year, over a year. But
yeah. No, I get it. I'm not going on it with that. But what I don't understand is, Tommy, we get that. We know that. It'll bother us as purists. You much more so. I'll be the first to admit. But for the type of audience that Conor's really looking to grab with those big money fights, I don't think anybody gives a shit. That big audience doesn't. I don't think it does. Right? Those guys that paid to see the $100 craziness when he fought Floyd aren't exactly the purists of any dimension. So I don't think it's going to be a loss of that much star power. He does just enough to stay in the public light. The tweet today, we're still talking about it. And it's funny because we're still talking about him even insofar as he's dodging people. Yes, I get that, but it's two other people fighting. If it continues for another year, I get it. Still, as crazy as it seems, the guy hasn't fought for that long, but he's still in the driver's seat of that division. In terms of
he's
everybody
still in the
wants
driver's
that fight.
seat because he has the belt. That's why he's still in the driver's seat. Because you know what? After UFC 223, trust me, after UFC 223, when a new undisputed champ is crowned, he really has no chips. Like, he could sit there and say, well, they never beat me for my belt. Well, okay, but you never defended your belt. So,
he has more chips
the
because
show must go
people
on.
give a shit about him. Like, I would even argue that he has the belt because of his drawing power, and he can fight. He can back some of it up. I get that, but it's not. The belt doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I know you want it to, but we're in a different era, and maybe
I think it's
it
going
should
back.
go back.
I think they're trying to get it to go back to that. That's what I think they're trying to get it back to. And the funny thing to me is why I think they didn't strip him earlier, because Dana had this fucking delusion that Conor was just going to come back. I think Dana was just holding on to that. Like,
not
he's going to call me.
Just a strict hope. You know what I'm saying?
He's going to call me and tell me to set up a fight. He's going to call me and tell me to set up a fight.
He's going to say he loves
me.
He's going to say he still loves me. He's going to call me. Right? He's not just going to fuck me and leave me, right? Because that's my buddy. He got one and done by Ireland's favorite son.
I know it's been 4.5 days since he called me back after that one night, or since he never called me since that one night stand. But I know on the 5th day he's going to call me. That's what it reminds me of.
You know, we've all been there. I mean, on the giving or the receiving end. I'm not going to say which. I don't want to blow up anybody's spot. But it's been those situations where he really, really thought that this guy would, but he's not. The longer he waits, the more he's playing a gambling game here, where it goes, he got to wait, and see if he can really come in and be Captain Save-A-Ho, right? We're going to extend this metaphor till it's dead in the third year. But he's going to wait that long and see if he can up his asking price. But I really don't think that Dana at this point is counting on it the way he used to. If that makes any sense. You know, he's hoping.
Oh, it does.
Everybody would hope as a promoter. Right?
I think he was hoping, and I think WME was also hoping too.
Oh, for sure. And if we're Johnny businessmen at WME headquarters, we're both hoping for the same shit, right, Tommy? Like, come on. You know, the guy does put asses in seats. That's all his chips. But what's crazy is that it's still 65-35 in terms of star power outpacing this whole belt situation. Maybe you're right, and after this Saturday, that'll get balanced out to more 60-40. You know, or 55-45 back in the belt's favor. For sure.
It's like we kept saying. Yeah, but it's like we kept saying. The more you just turn away from him, will probably make him want to come back because people aren't going to care. Because once he's not the champ of that division, you could say, oh, well, he never got beat for his belt. Well, you can't make that argument when you're not fighting. I don't care. When you're not doing what you need to do to defend your belt and you're just holding on to it, I don't count that as a champ. Even if a guy loses the belt on his first defense, I still count that more of a champ than a guy who's not defending anything. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
I get it, but I still don't give that much of a shit about who holds the belts anymore. I don't. And I haven't for quite a while. And I think it was part of the reason why was because so many people were getting belts for a while there. All right? You could eat a thing of oatmeal from Panera. and you might chip a tooth on a fucking UFC belt that they stuffed in there.
Well,
as a
speaking of
prize.
which, I think Colby Covington and RDA are fighting for the interim welterweight
Of course they
belt.
are. Of course they are. All right, and it's going to be in the shape of a boomerang, if what's his face wins somehow, and then it's going to be in the shape of two bolts to put into Frankenstein's neck there. Shout out to Tommy Toehold. But who cares? I sure as shit don't care. The thing that's going to make me want to watch that fight is RDA's having a resurgence, so the purist in me goes, man, how long can he milk this? How long can he hide, other alleged steroid use? Allegedly, please don't sue us. However, and if Colby wins, I'm going to want to see him get his shit kicked in by Darren Till down the road, or somebody, right? Because I hate him.
And
but,
speaking of Darren Till, he's going to be fighting Wonderboy Thompson. I'm excited.
I'm excited for that fight. But see, I'm excited for that fight, and it doesn't have title implications. It really doesn't, because if Wonderboy wins, Dana definitely doesn't want to have him fight anybody named Tyron Woodley for a while.
Right, but you see, you could be excited for non-title fights.
For sure.
If there's not a title implication. But when you're talking about a lightweight division who has a lightweight champ who's made money outside of the organization fighting in a boxing match that I'm not even going to get into it with that. But the inactivity, he's sitting around, he's holding on to the belt. Meanwhile, you got a guy like, Frankie Edgar who lost his shot at the belt because he wanted to fight. You have these guys who are scraping and clawing trying to get a title fight, and they're not getting it, like an Usman. He's not getting his opportunity when he completely friggin' deserves one. All these guys are fighting to get to that belt that certain fans, I'm not calling you out, but certain fans don't think belts matter, but to these guys they do.
Nah. All right, you're on that all belts matter bullshit train.
That's right, and I always will be.
I don't see it.
I always will be.
It doesn't matter anymore. They've reached critical mass. All right, they've handed them all out like fourth place trophies. All right, and it's lost its luster. All right, it just has. And I say this, and it's incongruous with my feeling that they should have more weight classes and more belts that way. But it just make them legitimate belts again, and maybe I'll come around. But it seems like the belt is a stopgap. Oh, this card doesn't have that much luster. Fuck it, let's make a belt. Oh, this doesn't have the. Fuck it, let's make a belt. And I think that's a function of the fact that they have 700 events, they have 1 billion people on the roster, and for the common fan, they got to make sure that let's bamboozle you with a shiny belt. All right, I would watch Wonderboy Thompson and Darren Till fight at the back of a 7-Eleven. All right, because all I'd have to see is one dude setting up in a weird karate stance, and the other guy not giving a fuck, and I'd be intrigued. All right, I'd probably go back into the 7-Eleven, grab a Slim Jim, right, like my man, Macho Man Randy Savage, rest in peace. And I'd come back out and be like, okay, let's see some violence. But there wouldn't have to be a belt involved for me to do that. Right, but then again, I would still grab a folding chair and watch some Muay Thai smokers if I so happen to be, down at my local YMCA and they were setting up for one. I'm like, oh shit, okay, here's $2. But these belts being given out, I don't need a belt to think that Khabib and this Max Holloway fight is tremendous. I don't. And how much of that is on Connor's head? How much of that is on WME's head? How much of that is on Dana White's head? How much of that is you want to saddle it up and tell the Fertittas that they fucked up a great thing, but, my money's not long enough to talk to them anyway. So it's not they're going to take my call. But, bro, belts.
Yeah, to them, they didn't make a bad decision.
No, they made a utterly beautiful one, and in their shoes, I would have made it twice.
Would they come in at $50 million? Is that what they came in at? $50 million?
I think it was like, and then they came in at 50, and what was even more tremendous was that they went for a spell there where they lost another 30. So there were something like 80 mil in the hole. And then our two boys there did the Ultimate Fighter finale. Exactly, and resurrect, and like a phoenix rising out of the ashes. You know, that's when belts mattered, though, back then. See, not
They're
now.
getting back to that way. And once Khabib gets that gold belt, I don't see anybody taking it from him.
No, not anything that walks on two legs, to borrow a phrase from the great master, fucking Enzo Gracie, right? Nothing walking on two legs is going to make me fearsome or fearful. That dude, even four legs. He wrestled bears as a child.
He did.
I'm telling you. Jesus Christ. You know?
Yeah, man, it's nuts, man.
I'm excited.
It's nuts. So
that undercard's pretty stacked too, though.
Yes,
honestly,
yes.
Like
223 is definitely going to be an exciting card for sure. 100% it will be. I wish we could get a day this week where we could talk about it, but I don't know if we're going to be able to.
Look at you throwing subliminals. I'm telling you, man. Who gave you a microphone? Jesus Christ. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can get our boy on the line here. I'm gonna call him direct, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes.
Hopefully he doesn't hit the fuck you button on us like Diana did.
Oh man, that was tough. That made me cry inside. It really did. You know, I made a joke of it like 7 times, and a couple of our listeners were like, "You beat that into submission." I'm like, you know what? I was legitimately feeling hurt. I haven't been fucking hung up on by a woman since at least the 6th grade.
And that was a long time ago.
That's a while ago. I'm an old man.
Hey, what's up?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us on the line heavyweight fighter Anthony Garrett, who's going to be fighting Sean Beal at Shamrock FC 304 this Saturday night. What's going on, Anthony?
Not much, man. His name's Chris Beal. I didn't want him to be insulted or anything, but
what did I call him?
I'm excited to Sean. Yeah.
Sean Beal. I don't know where the hell I got
Chris
Sean
Beal.
from.
It's all good. But yeah, I'm doing great. I just got over training and ate some dinner, but I'm doing good other than that.
Well, I mean, I know you don't have to worry about the weight. You have the fortune of fighting at heavyweight. How's the training been going, brother?
It's been going really well. I got a new Muay Thai kickboxing coach. His name's Claudio Matos, and he's been really helping me, rev my game up like a totally different level. So I'm really excited to display what he's been teaching me the past couple of months.
Well, man, I've watched some of your fights, and I don't know how much more polishing you need. You finish by submission. You finish by knockout. You're a goddamn animal.
Yeah, I just want that standing knockout or something, something a little more flashy to get the crowd a little more excited. I mean, I know I can finish fights on the ground, but, I'm not going to make it to the next level unless I start doing a little bit more.
Oh, come on, man. That's not true. Look at Khabib. I don't think he's ever had a knockout standing.
True, but I also want to do it for myself, too. I mean, I haven't knocked somebody out on my feet since I was an amateur, so, I just want to prove it to myself that I can do it again and, do something spectacular.
Well, with this fight coming up against Chris Beal, I know you're going to be looking to knock him out standing. While I was talking to Jeremy when we were talking about getting you on here, what happened with when the last time you guys were supposed to fight?
Yeah, so unfortunately I do have to cut weight. Like you said, I don't have to worry about it, but I do. I have to cut about 20 pounds. I walk around 280. Yeah, 280-ish. Yeah. So unfortunately the flu was going around really bad here in the Midwest, and I'm a personal trainer, so I'm around a lot of people in a really big gym all day, every day. I work at a title boxing club here in Lenexa, Kansas. And, I mean, everybody I knew had the flu or was coming down with it, and I was fine. I wasn't catching anything. But then I guess once that weight cut, my immune system dropped, And I mean, the next thing I know, I was feeling like shit at weigh-ins, and I even looked like shit. I mean, I remember people were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I mean, I feel a little weird, but it's just the weight cut, right? I mean, I did it. You know, I cut the same amount of weight last time." But then I woke up like literally at 4 a.m. on fight day and had to throw up, and I felt like shit. And my girlfriend's a nurse practitioner, and she, you know, was checking my temperature and everything. And of course I had 102-degree temperature and puking my brains out and just felt terrible. And I was still going to fight. I was like, you know, I'm just going to take some medicine and I'm going to go fight. But then, you know, everybody around me, my coaches, family, friends were like, you know, you can get hurt. You know, this isn't like a basketball game where, like when Michael Jordan played with the flu, you know, he's not getting punched in the face. You know, you can get hurt really bad by anyone. And, you know, Chris and I are heavyweights. I mean, it takes one hit, you know, me groggy, not feeling 100%, and the fight's over. So, you know, I did something that was really hard to do, obviously. I mean, I'm man enough to say I was very emotional about it, and, you know, I was very upset. And, I mean, I had like a breakdown about it before and after. I called Jesse and was like, I'm sick, I'm throwing up. And I mean, he even told me on the phone, he goes, "Yeah, you sound like you're dying. Like you sound like death." And I spent the next 2 days in bed. So, I mean, it was really bad. It sucked.
Well, this flu that was going around this year was actually killing people. People
Yeah,
died from the flu this year.
Yeah, here in the Midwest, it had the highest death rate, I believe, is what Jesse actually told me that. He goes, yeah, in Missouri and Kansas, it has the highest death rate, I think is what he said, or at least it was the highest amount of flu symptoms, I think. I don't remember what he said, but I know it was very, very bad this year.
Oh man, so that's.
I blame the Russians. I think
Yeah.
they were just spreading it. They were trying to send it over. They're trying some bullshit. No, my sister works in the hospital too, and she was saying the same thing. She goes, Omar, I've never seen ERs stacked this much, you know. And she yelled at me to get the flu shot till I did. I hate shots.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it this year, and I probably should. But I'm probably going to get it the rest of my life just in case. Or at least
you're
as long as
immune
I'm
now.
fighting.
You got so sick, bro.
Yeah.
You got that bad. You're like, fuck it, I'm never getting this shit again. God, man.
I have been healthy as a horse, knock on wood, since. So, yeah.
You got to work out in the elements. That's why. I work out in the elements, so I don't get sick. You got to work out.
Look at him try to
cold.
sound like he trains like Rocky and Rocky 4. Don't let him fool you. All right, he ain't carrying.
No, I hate
on his back. Yeah, you do.
I do that, actually. I do like to do that. I do jog with logs. It is a lot of fun. I got that from when I was playing football in high school, so I do actually do that. It's a lot of fun.
You played D1 ball, right?
Oh,
yeah, I played at East Carolina University, yeah.
What position did you play?
I played O-line. I started at right tackle there and then went to right guard. Even though it wasn't D1, my favorite year was when I was at Fort Scott Community College for a year. We played in the national championship against Cameron Newton. That, even though D1 was big, fancy, you know, amazing football, the Fort Scott Community College football was the roughest, toughest, I mean, true grit football I'd ever played in my entire life. I mean, I wouldn't trade that year for anything. So D1's cool and all, but it's a little too prima donna sometimes. That's why I had more fun at community college, honestly.
But you see, Omar, now I don't feel as upset as I was when they took me off the line and tried to make me a linebacker, considering I'd have to try and, get past a 280-pound monster like Anthony, and I was 160 pounds at best.
I was 350 back then, though.
I was going to say,
you
were probably more if you were on the line, right? I would think.
Yeah, I was huge, yeah. I was a solid 350. I could bench almost 500 pounds, squat almost 700. I mean, I was a big, big boy.
Jesus, you're moving out fucking Volkswagens with your legs. Like, I
did flip a car one night when I was drunk for my quarterback.
I I keep saying this this random shit, and you're like, well, sir, actually, I run with trees. Oh, actually,
yeah, you'd be surprised.
This is nuts. Oh my!
So
Christ.
apparently we have the mountain from Game of Thrones on the show.
Yeah,
this week. That's amazing.
Oh my God.
So why didn't you want? Did you want to play pro ball, or did you just see the the way that MMA was starting to blow up? Why not go that route?
I had originally wanted to play in the NFL. I had high hopes for it, and I was getting a lot of looks and a lot of good talk, basically. But I blew my knee out and had to have full reconstructive surgery. It's 110%, since the surgery. But I kind of you ever heard about when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had his knee blown out and kind of fell into depression? I kind of did the same thing. I blew my knee out and got so down on myself and hard on myself that I actually left North Carolina, where I was going to school, and came back home and kind of just, laid around and just lifted weights for a long time and became a bouncer at a bar and had to get myself out of that funk. And that's what, that's what I tell people is I love MMA and I do it and I enjoy it, but it literally saved my life in the sense that I was, 350 plus, not even a healthy 350 anymore because I was done playing football, eating, drinking like crap. And then I found MMA and lost all that weight fighting, and then took my first MMA fight on 2 weeks' notice at a place called Bargener's Brawl here in Kansas City, and won by, I think it was 48-second knockout, and then never looked back.
48.
Let me tell you, a brawl in Kansas City, City, bro. You never want to fuck around. All right, you got to be tough as nails. Be like, yeah.
Had you trained before that, or did you just say, fuck it, I'm just going to go in there and take a swing?
I had never really trained. I was literally just hitting a heavy bag that I had bought and hung in my basement with my dad helped me hang it. And my dad now I did have some training because my dad does have 2 black belts in Lima Lama and Tai Chi. So I knew how to throw a punch, I knew how to throw a kick, and I had my wrestling from high school. So I wasn't a scrub by all means, but I just took it on 2 weeks' notice and was like, whatever. Jumped in there and knocked the guy out. So it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was Matt Brown, same story, Omar. He went to an event. They put him on there, and he ended up knocking out the champ.
Yeah.
Next thing he's gonna tell us that he was in Cuba too, and then I'm gonna have a lot of questions. I'm gonna start thinking.
No.
Our boys.
They don't have enough food.
Castro down.
Yeah, they don't have enough food for a 280-pound behemoth, man.
Yeah, I would probably die in Cuba.
You turn into a welterweight.
That's the quote of the show.
Quick.
Completely out of context, it's going to be the quote of the show. Yeah, I'd probably die down in Cuba.
So, what is the heat between you and what's the heat between you and Chris? Well, what's the heat between you and Chris? Is it just because you're 2 up-and-coming heavyweights, or do you guys just not like each other at all?
Well, he hates Chris and Sean. He hates both of them.
I hate Sean Beal more than Chris Beal.
I don't know where the hell I got Sean from. I'm looking around seeing if I wrote Sean down somewhere. I don't know where the hell that came from.
I think the beef between us though is just more of kind of just we're wanting to put on the show, and I said I was going to knock him out. He said he was going to knock me out. We both called bullshit, and we decided just let things go as they can go and try to get at each other a little bit. He seems like a good guy, but I don't really care about that. I mean, when we get in the cage, no friends, no nothing. I mean, I hope we tear each other's head off, and that's what I want. But I think the beef is just more of a mutual, we want to whoop each other's ass thing. I don't think we have any super grudges against each other. I just think it's to be honest though, and he knows about it. I've said it before to multiple people. When they first offered him to me, I turned it down due to the fact that I said I want a tougher opponent. So I think that kind of pissed him off. And that may be where it all started. But I still say that right now. I mean, the reason why I wanted a tougher opponent is because he's 3-5. If I lose to him somehow, that's going to look bad on me. And then beating him is going to be cool and everything, but he's 3-5, so it's not going to shoot my career up like if I beat a guy that was 3-0 or 4-0. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I mean, all respect to him all respect to him in the world and everything, but once that door closes, I'm going to get my job done, end of story, and I'm going to get my hand raised, and we can, shake hands, hug, and I'll buy him a beer after.
Yeah, I don't. Jeremy was telling me you guys were doing some great Ric Flair quotes at the weigh-in. What gems are you throwing out?
I love Ric Flair. I don't know about him. I mean, he seems like more of a Chris Beal seems like more of a Macho Man, Randy Savage fan to me. But I love Ric Flair. I was throwing out the limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, all that shit. I mean, I love Ric Flair.
Yeah, I'm a wrestling fan. Omar a little bit, but during the Raw 25th anniversary, we were doing our show, and I think I was watching the 25th anniversary more than I was paying attention to the show that we were doing here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tommy.
Yeah, I grew up watching all the wrestlers. I mean, I started as a Hulk Hogan fan, Stone Cold, The Rock, and then I don't really have a favorite now, but I still watch it from time to time.
Well, the Midwest, you guys had some of the greats out there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You're a little bit younger than Omar and I, so you might not have remembered the heyday years, but I do. So what's the plan, man? After I know you're saying that this might not do anything for your career, but I mean you're on a tear right now. So with the hype that's leading behind this, do you think this is gonna nudge you getting closer to a title shot for Shamrock if you beat this guy?
I think so. I mean, either way it happens, I mean, I want to win the Shamrock heavyweight title. And it's not just for the Bellator contract or anything. I just want to win that belt. I mean, I remember the first time I saw it as an amateur, I was like, that's my shit. I want that. Like, that is going to be mine one day. And I fought the same night when Bobby Bentz won the heavyweight title and beat Shane Grant. And I talked to Bobby afterwards, and I was like, that I wanted to fight him right then and there. All respect to him and everything. I was like, I want to fight you right now. I mean, I want that belt that bad. And I think if the chips fall as they may, I may be speaking a little too soon on anything, but like I may, get to fight Matt Uday again and revenge that one loss I have. That would be a dream come true for me. I mean, I respect the guy, Matt Uday, and everything, but I want and need to get that win over him and get that payback, if that makes sense.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make the organization money, especially if you come off, you win in exciting fashion. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Now that I see that Shamrock just signed a deal with NBC Sports, so that's going to be awesome for you. Now, is this going to be on NBC Sports?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't see why not, but if not, I mean, it doesn't,
You got two
it should be, but if not,
like how? Yeah. Like, this is what everybody always says. Oh, the lighter weights and the purists and this, that, and the third. You got two people that can flip cars like for real that are going to be trying to do damage to each other, and there's heat there. So get these guys on TV. All right, stream them somehow, please.
Yeah.
This is what everybody always says. Hey, I want to get the casual fans to look. Well, look at these behemoths. Christ, and violence. Watch.
And you know what he said, Omar, that made me smile? He wants the championship belt. See,
I know you were going to say that.
Before we called you, we were talking about the whole situation with Tony Ferguson having to pull out and Max Holloway stepping in to fight Khabib for the undisputed belt, and talking about how Conor just sits at home with the belt. And Omar is under the impression that belts just don't matter anymore.
Under the impression. They matter in Shamrock, all right? Because they don't hand them out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, All right, he didn't trip and hit 3 belts on his way back from training today. All right, they matter in that organization. Okay, when Shamrock's having a bad day, they don't just go, you know what, we're going to jazz this up and sprinkle a little championship dust on it. You have to earn it and work for it, and that's what he gives a shit about. Stop it. See what I deal with here, bro? Come on, man.
Well, I mean, I agree with him in some of the weight classes. I mean, if you look at the heavyweight belt in the UFC, I mean, Miocic has turned the shit out of that thing. Yeah. I mean, that dude is, wow. Yeah, I mean, he's like an idol of mine. Like, I watch his fights all the time. I mean, I'll put my ass on the treadmill for like 45 minutes straight, watch 2 or 3 of his fights, and I'm just like running as fast as I can because I'm like, this motherfucker doesn't stop. He goes. Yep. And if I ever want to be as good as him, I have to train harder than him probably. I mean, damn. And he's a bad dude.
He's a bad son of a gun. He is. He absolutely is.
And working at 2 different fire departments at the same time. Like,
that's just crazy.
But the thing that makes it crazy is the UFC is like trying to get him to stop doing that. Like, why? That's the all-American hero right there.
I think they want him to be more valuable for their media and publicity crap. I think is what they want him for. Is what I
and also not die in fires and not die in fires.
That too, yeah.
That's a big. That's a big one, man. Like, it's not like he's driving a
I forgot
cab.
about that.
Right? No. That's what gets me though. Like, we're all like crazy, like, for sure. But he fights fires. Like, that's why. Oh, it's crazy. I don't know, man. Some backdraft.
But you know what? As a heavyweight, that's the kind of idol I'd want.
True.
Heavyweight fighter.
Absolutely.
So, what are you eyeing Bellator? Are you eyeing the UFC? What do you want?
Not to knock on Dana White and UFC, but I would definitely want to go to Bellator first. I just really like how everything's done there. I've always enjoyed their shows, always enjoyed their, some of their crazy, you could call them like spectacle fights where they bring legends back and stuff. And I just have a lot of friends that fight the Bellator too. And I'd want to, step in there before I ever even think about going to the UFC first. I mean, I know Bellator is a little, below the UFC in skill level, just a little bit, obviously, but I'd want to step into Bellator first before I even think about the UFC. That's just my personal look at everything like that.
Do you like the tournament style?
Too.
Yeah. Well, for sure. But like, do you like the them trying to bring back a little bit of the tournament?
Oh yeah. I totally forgot. Yeah, the tournament. Yeah, the tournament's the shit. I just wish they would do it a little bit more closer to each other. Not months apart. Like, I would want to fight one weekend and then let the other fuckers fight the next weekend, and then I'm ready that another weekend. Like, I want to go one weekend off and then fight the winner again, something like that. I want them to be a lot closer, kind of like not as intense as Warrior, the movie with Tom Hardy, but similar to Warrior. That would be awesome.
But that's the traditional Grand Prix that we grew up on with Pride.
Yeah.
That I have, and Strikeforce did it too. You're calling it a Grand Prix, I get it, because of name recognition. Everybody knows what the Grand Prix is if you watch Pride. But a real Grand Prix is 2 days. They fight, what was it, 2 or 4 times in one night. And then, that's when you get your winner. When you're just spreading it out like they're spreading it out, I don't even think that's a tournament to me. Right, Omar?
Yeah,
I think it's just scheduled fights.
It is. It's scheduled fights. Yeah.
That's my only gripe. But, no, we've talked about this a lot. And, for most guys, it might even be more beneficial for somebody to go to Bellator and stay there. Like, we had Liam McGeary on the show. He's a friend of ours, and he's happy being there.
Yeah.
He's a lot happier being there. One of Eddie Gordon, who's another friend of the show who was in the UFC, he would rather fight elsewhere as well.
That's what I have heard that from a lot of UFC fighters, that they get there and then they're just like, man, like, I would rather be somewhere else right now, unless you're like, the top dog like Conor McGregor or somebody like that up there famous, like Alistair Overeem, or someone who's making like $400,000 or plus a fight. I mean, they don't, it's not worth being there sometimes.
Right? Like, is it just
that
they don't
too.
fight often enough?
No, yeah.
Honestly. It's crazy.
Well, look at Rory. He left the UFC, and he was probably one of the best welterweights there. And he just said, I'm tired of being used like a chess piece. And he went over to Bellator and had probably one of the best fights there that they've had since the Chandler Alvarez fights. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, Bellator, that's a good thing, man. You would definitely fit in well over there, I think. They need younger heavyweights. They need younger heavyweights. It's because
I want to get him there soon so I can fight Fedor. That's what I want. Cool.
Yo,
I would do that. I don't care. I would take that in a heartbeat. I'd go wrestle some bears in Russia, but I'd get ready for him. I don't care.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, if you're
just not
call
having
out a name, that's the name to call out.
No tea before the fight, though, just in case his agent tries some poison shit. No, he's like, nah, I'm just straight coffee. I'm an American, goddammit. Right? There we go.
I don't know what tea is, dude. I don't know what tea is.
Good man. Thank you.
Exactly.
The girl keeps trying to get me to drink it. I'm like, yo, do I look like Kwai Chan Kane? All right, I don't fuck it. Get out of here with this stuff. Drink some coffee.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, we talk about this a lot. Like, I remember from boxing and the UFC in the beginning when if you were the heavyweight champ or a heavyweight fighter in general, you were a god. It's like now they're leaning away from the heavyweight stuff. You're looking at the heavyweights in the UFC with the exception of Stipe. They're 39, 40 years old. They're barely fighting. It's like all the guys that are going with size are going to the NFL. They're going to the NBA. They're wanting to make that money. I want to see the heavyweights and the light heavyweight division start to build up again. That's exciting to me. Yes, it's nice watching the lighter weight guys fight because they could go 5 rounds and it'd be an exciting 5 rounds. But I like the one punch knockout. That knockout.
It's more. It is a good. Yeah. That's the thing though. Like so, I like I said, I respect the hell out of Miocic, but and I was watching the fight. I watched when he fought Francis Ngannou. But the thing is that I 100% agree with Stipe about his beef with Dana White and all the bullshit going on. Could you guys imagine what would have happened if Francis knocked him out in the first round? Like that would have what you're talking about with the heavyweights being popular again. They would have used Francis Ngannou and been like, look at this guy. He's a gigantic, incredible specimen. Like, he just destroyed the champion, knocked him out in the first round. He would have become what you just said, kind of like an idol. People would have been like, that's my champion. That's the UFC heavyweight champion. He's a rock star. And I wish they would do that with Miocic because he is a bad motherfucker. But I just don't think he has that personality that they want, and that's what sucks.
Yeah, I hate that whole personality stuff. Like these guys make our other hosts, Chris and Omar, they make fun of me because I like the vanilla guy. I don't like the guy who sits and goes on Twitter all the time and just talks a whole bunch of shit just for no reason. Like Frankie Edgar is my favorite fighter. I'm a Jersey guy. I can't help it. I've sat and talked to him a bunch. He doesn't talk shit, but you will always watch his fights when his fight's coming up because the guy can fight. I think a guy's
he's a bad dude.
Yeah, I think a guy's actions in the ring should be enough for people to want to watch them fight, not the beef on Twitter. You know what I mean? That's just me. That's just me. And Stipe's not about that, and that's why I like him.
Yeah, that's the one thing for him, though, because I respect him so much. I wish he would not, it's not like he doesn't have to talk shit. He needs to just sell himself better, if that makes sense. He needs to do what, like, great NFL players and great NBA players do and sell himself a little bit more than he's doing. And I think he would get more money, which I'm sure everybody needs that and wants that, and he would become that heavyweight they're looking for if he would just, like I said, don't talk shit, but sell yourself,
His story
make everyone
is
believe in.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is he's got it.
Yeah.
He just needs to be like, hey, I'm fucking the champ. I'm Steve Miocic. Like, I piss excellence. Like, he doesn't have to talk shit. Just You know, pull a
freaking
Ricky Bobby and just be something. You know, be unique, and just put himself out there a little bit. And you know, he kind of did it too after he beat Francis. He was like, I'm the baddest man on the fucking planet. I just defended the belt 3 times. You know, I was like cheering for him. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. You need to tell people that. You need to beat your chest and say, I am the best, because he is. You know, that's what I would tell him if I ever met him. I'm like, dude, sell yourself a little bit more and just put yourself out there and make the fans love you like I love you. And, you know, he would do so great if he would just sell himself a little bit more.
And he'd have a little more power when it comes to negotiations at that point. Then he could charge.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
Say, you know, instead of being, he was almost second banana, you know, in his 3rd title defense. So he was going for a historic mark, and he was still like the redheaded stepchild somehow in that fight, and he was the sitting champ. It was a travesty.
Yeah.
Well, I loved what he did with the belt when he took it from Dana and gave it to his trainer to.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I applauded that more than how he won the fight, which when we did our fight breakdown, it's pretty much what I said he was going to do, was just wear Ngannou out for 5 rounds. He wasn't going to try and go for it. But the way the UFC promotion was going throughout that whole thing, it was like Ngannou was the champ already. Like he had the strength.
Yeah, I hated
all
that.
About him.
Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
yeah, that stupid punching power thing. I was like, nobody cares about that. You can't. That was a non-moving target. Good luck hitting Miocic that hard.
Honestly,
damn.
Bruce Lee.
Well,
Bruce Lee figured that one out for us, right? Like shit.
Well,
yeah. Boards don't hit back. Yeah.
Well, Joe Rogan negated that already with Joe Rogan kicking that pad, and Joe Rogan's kick was harder than Ngannou's punch. So that's what's all over the internet now.
Well,
and the funny thing, Joe Rogan will kick you with that kick too.
Yeah.
Francis isn't going to land that punch on everybody.
That's true.
And just like you had said about, you know, Stipe selling himself more, I thought that would have happened when he went on the Joe Rogan podcast, because once you get that Joe Rogan rub, it doesn't matter who the hell you are, you're just blasted to stardom because you're sitting in that seat. I thought that would have did it for him, and I don't think it really did, and I don't understand why. I really don't.
It's like I said, he just doesn't beat his chest enough. Like I think he seems like he's very humble and he's a little quiet, but like he's done, like you said, his story is amazing. He's done incredible things in the UFC. I mean, he is the best heavyweight on the planet, and he needs to walk tall and beat his chest a little bit. Like that's all he's got to do. You know, I hope he's listening somehow. Let's hope he's actually listening somehow. Magically, he's going to hear this and he's going to be like, yeah, I hear you, young man. I hear you. I'm going to stand tall and be
listening.
proud.
He's keeping an eye on the young guns coming up, being like, yo, there's somebody else in the Midwest that could flip cars and shit. I got to watch out.
Mm-hmm.
I pay attention. That's what I'm saying. That, you know, that Kansas City Shuffle is going to come and brawl in his ass.
So who do you got? Who do you got with him in DC? Do you think he beats DC? I do. What do you think?
I do. Yeah. I think he'll beat DC. I mean, their wrestling I think is equal, and Miocic's hands are 10 times better. You know, I think Miocic's going to make him carry him, put his body weight on him, and DC's fought heavyweight before, but he's never fought anyone like Miocic ever. Yeah, I think it'll be a 5-round decision win, unanimous by Miocic.
I just hope DC doesn't start pulling out those slams that he was getting people with when he was at heavyweight, like when he did to Josh Barnett. I've never seen a pump handle slam in the octagon before. He did it.
It was legit.
Yeah.
It was like a fake wrestling.
I think Stipe is a little more athletic than Josh Barnett, though. Like he's, Josh Barnett's a great fighter and he's a legend, but Miocic's like I've been saying, he's the real deal. And DC is going to find that out. I mean, he'll find that out.
Well, what Stipe did, when he left MMA for a little bit to just concentrate on straight boxing and going Golden Gloves, he just made himself a complete fighter just by doing that rather than just learning MMA striking, which, it works. It obviously works, but if you're going to really hone in on the boxing aspect, since you already have the wrestling aspect, you're there. There's not too many guys like Verdum, but as we just recently saw, that's kind of going out towards the wayside there. Did you see that last fight?
Yeah.
The Verdum, what was that? Olenek? Omar? Was that his name?
Alexei, yep. Olenek.
What did you think of that fight?
I didn't catch that one, but I know the Russian guy won, right? By TKO?
Yeah. It was bad.
I didn't catch that one.
It was abysmal. You really did not. That did not look like Verdum at all.
Yeah. Did the Russian guy demolish him?
He demolished him, but he was actually. I think he actually passed Verdum's guard.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
That was what was nuts. I was like, wait a second, hold on. I've seen a lot of things. You know, I've seen pigs fly during hurricanes and shit, but like some heavyweight passing Fabricio Verdum's guard.
Was he getting clean shots on the ground though, like some like good ground and pound before he passed the guard?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. It was.
Oh my
yeah,
God,
that's why. I mean, yeah, that's why. You mean you get hit like that with your head on the mat? Yeah, anyone can pass anyone the guard. You get smacked hard enough. That shit hurts. So that's probably why he was able to pass with the guard like that. I mean, Verdum doesn't have the greatest chin on the planet. We all know that. And he gets smacked a couple of times. He's gonna, panic a little bit.
Well, he was exhausted. Yeah. He was exhausted by the end of the second round. His gas tank was gone, and it wasn't really that much of a high output fight. It was just really weird. So I guess it's like Omar likes to say, it's Father Time is starting to catch up with some of these guys, and it's opening the door for guys like you.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the one thing that I have noticed that with a lot of the older fighters that they just seem to be not all the way there. It seems like they just don't have that same jump in there, or not jump in their step, pep in their step, and they're just not. They're not. Some of them just don't even look as solid as they used to. I mean, that testosterone drop as you get a little bit older, I'm sure affects them pretty hardcore.
And if in the UFC's case, USADA.
Yeah.
Wow, look at him throwing shade. Yo, don't let him lump you in. All right. Guess has nothing to do with that.
Dude,
that last
he's from
comment.
the Midwest. They don't need steroids out there.
No, man.
Yeah, dude, we just freaking bale hay and eat corn every day. We're good.
That's what I'm saying. It's a natural American steroids. Some
perfect
natural
example
way.
of that is Matt Hughes. Perfect example of that. He had that farm boy strength, and what's his name? Pat Miletich was on Joe Rogan talking about it, that he just used to ragdoll Olympians that used to come in there, and he had just wrestling, but he was ragdolling people that had far, far better wrestling than him just because of how friggin' strong he was. No, you Midwest guys, it's got to be something in the water. It's got to be something
probably
in the water.
In the beef or the water or something. Yeah,
it's that clean living out there.
The fact that they get the beef, they bite the beef when it's still on the grassy plain. They take it down and they just bite it in the neck, and they're like, "Fuck it."
We do a double leg and then just eat it freaking
Eat it right there. Like, oh, he's looking at me funny. Shit.
Hey, well, I have cow tip before. That is fun. That is legitimately fun. Actually.
I was just about to make a joke that out here in the East Coast we just tip cows. You guys tip them and eat them right on the spot.
Yeah.
Tommy, stop talking about ladies like that. All right, our guest was not making that sort of allegory. All right, he actually tips legit cows. You're talking about kicking exes. I don't want to. Please. All right, let's try to keep it professional. Look at this guy. Fucking dude. Sorry about that.
Omar always has to take it there.
I'm saying, man. What are you talking about? Kicking cows. All right, I live in the Northeast and I've never kicked a cow. Like, what possesses you? Tipping them is one thing, all right? But sitting there trying to, that's just foul.
Yeah, Omar lives where they still don't have indoor plumbing yet. He has an outhouse in his backyard, believe it or not.
Damn, that's no fun at all.
Happens. It's not fun, but you know what? I don't get mad enough to kick livestock and shit. I'm still humane.
I would if it was cold, man. I would never, ever go outside to take a shit if it was cold. Nope.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. Right? You alter your diet at that point. You're just like, I just want to shit less in the winter.
So you said you're a personal trainer. That's what you do when you're not fighting.
Yeah.
Do you like destroy people like what's his name? It's still your motherfucking set. What the hell is his name? Omar.
Oh, CT Fletcher?
Yeah, do you just like
CT
Fletcher?
No, I can't be that mean actually because the gym I work at, Title Boxing Club in Lenexa, it's like 90% women, so you got to be a little bit, a little bit softer to them. I mean, I'm still mean to them, but I'm not like CT Fletcher at all. I mean, I train out of 20-some people. I have 20-some clients. 2 of them are guys. One of them's 69 years old and he wants to box, and the other one is just wanting to lift weights and lose some belly fat. And then, the rest are all females, and yeah, you can't be mean to them like that. You got to push them just enough and then be their best friend, basically.
Yeah, I see those title boxing clubs all over the place. There was a bunch of them in Virginia when I was down there.
Yeah, they've opened a lot.
Too.
Yeah, they got a big market now. They're pretty successful actually. They're a lot of fun to work out too. So. Now,
is that where you do your MMA training too?
No, I actually go to American Jiu-Jitsu, which is inside of 68 Inside Sports, owned by Will Shields, who's a Hall of Fame Chiefs player, offensive lineman. And then I go to Brass Boxing, which is owned by Austin Ford, and that's where I train with Claudio Matos. He's my kickboxing Muay Thai coach, the professor is what we call him.
Did you say the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yes, Will Shields played for them. The one of the gyms I go to, he owns it.
We just lost our caller, Anthony. Good luck in your fight next week. Sorry, I'm a Raider fan.
Oh, see, I knew it. When I heard Chiefs, I'm like, I'm gonna let this one ride with this crazy Raiders fan. Oh boy. Oh.
Hey, I mean, I don't have that hate for the Raiders at all because you guys probably don't know this about me, but I'm half Mexican. My mom is full blood, Mexican. My dad's Irish, my mom's Mexican, so I'm an angry motherfucker. Basically, that's just what happened.
You are one of the biggest Mexicans I've ever even heard of. Holy shit! I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
So my dad's 6'7", so that's where I get my size from. My dad's 6'7".
Good God. Oh.
Yeah, but half my family are Chiefs fan, and then half my mom's side they're Raiders.
Oh.
So I grew up watching both, liking both. I'd be hanging out with my mom's cousin, like my cousins on my mom's side, cheering for the Raiders. I was a little kid just trying to be, trying to fit in basically because I'm one of the youngest. And then when I'd watch games with my dad and his brothers, it was go Chiefs. So. Yeah, I've got no beef with either of them. It's football to me. I just want to watch it or play football either way.
So when you were playing, were you looking to who were you looking to play for, Kansas City or Oakland?
I was actually looking at the Ravens or the Panthers just because it was in that area on the East Coast where I was going to school. They were the ones that were speaking to me about playing for them down the road after, when I graduated and all that stuff. That's who I'd spoken to was Panthers and Ravens. And it wasn't much. It was just on the phone, stuff like that. I mean, that's the crappy thing. Was like when I blew my knee out, it was just like I got the big fuck you from everybody. And it was like, oh, you're a liability. We don't want you. Sorry. It sucked.
Well, yeah, I would think, that size, with the bad knee, it's probably more of a chance for it to happen again, right?
Yeah, that's why when I lost all my weight, it feels my right leg is way stronger than my left leg. My right leg's the one that I blew out. I mean, the surgery cost $27,000. The guy the surgeon that did it was absolutely amazing. I cannot remember his name, but he was amazing. And I mean, it's rehabbed 100%. I mean, I've had no issues since it happened, since I lost all the weight. So it's perfect.
It feels good when you're in the cage, moving around and everything like that.
Yeah, I don't even notice it. Yeah, I don't notice anything. Yeah, I think it's the weight loss because that's a lot of weight to take off of it. So I think it helped a lot.
Oh, let's say. See, Omar, he's speaking to me.
He's trying to tell you he's being personal trainer from long distance. But you know what, Anthony, you can be mean to him. We're okay with that. Right? If you gotta.
Oh, the guys? No, yeah, the two guys that I train, I'm a fucking dick. Like I literally will be working mitts with the 69-year-old I train. He fought in Vietnam. He was in the Army. He's a vet. I mean, he wants me to do it too. I'm like, you fucking pussy, keep fucking going. I mean, he's about to throw up or pass out, and I'm in his face screaming at him. But he wants it. That's what he pays for. He goes, I love this shit. He goes, I love it. It makes me feel young again.
Well, yeah, you got to say back when he was in basic training, they were really hitting them.
Oh yeah, no, he went through the real shit. Yeah.
Yeah. There's none of these stress cards that they have now. You hold up a little stress card because you're yelling at me. I can't. I'm glad I was in when I was in. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad everything's working out for you. I know you're chomping at the bit to get in there and take Chris's head off, man. And I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it, man. Well, listen, this is the part of the show where we give you the floor, shout out your sponsors, talk some shit, give us some good sound bites that we can chop up and send out there because we want to help push this fight for you, man. The floor is yours.
I got you. So just want to say one thing. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and to Chris Beal, my opponent. I'm coming for you this Saturday, April 7th at the Ameristar Casino for Shamrock FC 304. And 100%, I don't have my little card with all my sponsors on it, so I can't throw all of them out there right now. But the ones that I do want to thank the most are my bosses at the Title Boxing Club in Lenexa, Jen and Blaine Fisher. They're like a mom and dad to me. They're awesome. That's where I work. That's where they sponsor me. I mean, they treat me like I'm one of their sons. So I just want to say thank you to them. And then most importantly, my coaches, Steve Crawford at American Jiu-Jitsu and Claudio Matos, the professor at Brass Boxing. I'm in there. My bread and butter, they're like dads to me, just like my dad. And my dad helps me train too. He unfortunately can't corner me. If he's listening, I want to say I love him. He actually just got diagnosed with prostate cancer a month ago and got the cancer removed and was helping me train all the way up until the fight, not up until the fight, but up until the surgery. I mean, he was training with me the 2 days before the surgery. He's a big, tough guy. They removed the cancer. He's 100% good to go. He's going to be at the fight. He just unfortunately can't corner me like he usually does. So, if he's listening, I love him, and I can't wait to see him at the fight.
Well, man, we hope everything goes well for your dad. And even though he's not going to be coaching you in your exact corner, I'm sure he's going to be screaming from the seats, and I know you're probably going to be able to hear him. But, man, thank you so much for taking the time to come on here. It was a great conversation. We want to have you on here again. You have open door policy on here, and you want to come on after your fight. Whatever else is going on, you just come right on, man, anytime you want.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, Anthony,
thank you,
good
sir.
luck, brother.
Take care.
Yep, have a good night, guys.
Good
Bye.
night.
You too.
You too. Busting out the Ric Flair. I fucking love it.
I'm always going to be a fan. Anybody comes out with the Ric Flair, all right, I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators down. Like, that's always going to be.
You know you're going to have to chop that up tonight, right?
Oh, yeah. No, we're gonna have to make it. We're going to have to return the form with the clips, this guy. And then I love how he throws right at the end. Like, my pops is kicking cancer's ass. I just want to, like, yo. Dude, this guy's story is pretty awesome, man. I
That's
like
right.
the bounce back and the fighting back from adversity, and the honesty with, hey man, it sucked when one door closed and then I went out there and made another one open. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, man. You see, and this is what I love about fighting, and even even the amateur wrestling, it's a team sport, but it's not. It's like the perfect metaphor for life, because life will kick you in the fucking teeth, and it'll keep you there if you let it. Push on, and you persevere, and you keep fucking fighting, you're going to come out on top. You know what I mean? And you look at
tremendous,
these, and you look at these, these, and I talked to Sean Teed about this too. Organized sports, we all grew up playing them, but you're always depending on other people, not just yourself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's other people. There's other pieces of the pie that have to be put together in order for you to come out victorious. There's not going to be just that one guy that completely makes the difference. I know everybody blows LeBron, but if LeBron didn't have other guys on the court to at least pass him the ball, he's not getting it in the net. If Tom Brady doesn't have somebody to throw to, he doesn't have fucking 5 Super Bowl wins. With fighting, it's just you, man.
Well, Tom also needed help from the referees and the league. So I'm a Giants fan, bro. That's the one point where you'll get me. Let's be 100% claro on that one. No, this guy comes in.
But what I'm saying is, with
he
fighting,
gets back up off the canvas.
Yes,
exactly.
With fighting, it's just on you. It's you. Your corner can tell you what to do. You got to be able to implement it. And the same thing goes with amateur wrestling. I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't wait till Giovanni gets a little bit mature enough so I could send him to wrestling rather than organized sports.
You're sitting there biding time. You're like, yo, let's get done with all this.
As I'm going to be one of the coaches on his flag football team.
I was going to say he just started football.
I know. I know.
Okay.
I want him to get that killer instinct. And then I'll send him over to Elite Wrestling with Frankie and Sean Teed.
Jesus Christ, that goddamn pedigree. I'm jealous already. And he hasn't even started. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy.
Yeah. So we have some time. Let's talk a little bit more about UFC 223 before we end out. What do you think, my brother?
I like it. I like where we're going with this.
So Rose and Joanna, well, not champion anymore, but
Joanna Violence. Do we go back to Joanna Violence now that she's not the champion? I guess so. Right. I mean,
what are you thinking, brother? Do you think now that Joanna's got the right kind of nutritionist rather than what she was dealing with before, do you think we see that killer Joanna back again, or do you think Rose beats her with a submission this time?
I think it's a sub, but I think it's got to be longer. I don't. A lot of people are saying that she's in her head, that Namajunas is in Joanna's head, and this, that, and the third. I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of it had to do with cardio issues and preparation. Maybe I think there was a case to be made that was the primary reason. Not taking anything away from Rose. I don't think that was the case though. Her camp, Joanna's camp, is big on we fired her, so a little bit of scapegoating action going on. As a selfish fan, I'd like to see Joanna win it so we get a trilogy. But that's the only reason why, But in terms of what I think is going to happen, I think that the original prediction is going to be is going to hold true in this second fight. Namajunas is going to get a sub. I want to say 3rd or 4th round. It's going to be exciting though. I don't think it's going to be that quick like it was last time. How about you?
Yeah, the last time was shocking because you and I both said submission. We both said submission.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. But I think Rose comes away with it again just on maybe I guess just her Zen-like approach to everything.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? She doesn't seem like she's in her head, but when you hear her and Pat talk about things, she's very much in her head, but she knows how to kind of scrape it off, I guess.
She like actually
just
projects while she's talking to you. The Zen approach to it was spot on, Tommy. It's some weird business. She's got that mental game. Her mental game is over 9,000. All right, it's impossible.
Oh, absolutely,
like, it's craziness. You know, and it had to be to withstand the sort of mental attack that Joanna was famous for. You know, but I'd like to see a trilogy. I just don't think it's going to happen, man. I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, a couple, other notable fights. You have Michael Chiesa fighting Anthony Pettis, who's returning to the 155 division.
Is Yamasaki refereeing, or is who's refereeing this fight? Is it going to be Yves Levine? Like the ref matters when it comes to Chiesa's fights. That's what that's I think the X factor. But I don't know. I'm not sold on him. If Pettis doesn't get his car set on fire again or anything crazy during the preparation, I feel like he's gonna come through with the victory. How about you?
We make our jokes about Pettis, but I actually like Anthony Pettis.
I don't like his tattoo artist. That's the only thing I don't like. Like whoever's.
Yeah.
All right. Jesus Christ.
I like Anthony more than I like his brother. That's for sure.
I got a thing against people named Sergio. I don't know why. Maybe a Sergio beat me up as a kid. I'm sorry, Tommy, if you have relatives in the whole country named Sergio. No offense.
No.
But I'm not a fan. I just don't know what it is. But so fuck Sergio all day. I agree with you there. But yeah, Pettis.
Yeah, this one's a tough call for me because Chiesa is good, and he does have a chip on his shoulder. Man, I think. This one's tough for me because Pettis definitely has something to prove coming back up to 155. You know what I mean? Missing weight at 45. I'm going to say Pettis wins this one. I'm going to say he ekes out a decision. What do you think?
Smart man. I agree. Although I don't think it's going to be a decision. I really think it's going to be a second-round TKO. I don't know why. I just got a feeling like Showtime's going to come back up. He's going to feel, not as sucked out, and he's going to say, you know what, if I want to keep cashing a paycheck in the UFC, I need to go back to Showtime. Because what else is he going to do? It's not like he's going to go on a title tear. So at least make it entertaining. All right, please. Earn yourself some fight of the night bonuses and go and buy yourself another car. Hopefully fireproof. So.
Wow, I love it.
You got it, or have Stipe on retainer. I don't know.
There you go.
Shit.
So we're both going with Pettis. Well, here's one. Here's one that's real tough because these are two East Coast gritty, tough sumbitches. One from Philly, the other one from New York. Raging Al Iaquinta makes his return against Paul Felder. Now I know Felder's training with Pettis and the boys over there, but God damn it, he's an East Coast guy at heart. I'm going with my man Rage now. That's not even a question.
Yeah, for real.
That's not even a question, and I think Al's going to catch him in the second round. What do you think, my brother?
I think Al hits harder. I think they match up very, very well, but one of the X factors is that Iaquinta hits harder, and I think he's going to beat him up like the dude was room service at a bad hotel. He's going to fuck it up, start throwing shit. Might hit him with a fucking air conditioner. You know what I'm alluding to, all right? He's going to beat him up like he helps his clients beat PMI. I don't know. What else do I got to say? He's going to do some good stuff there. All right?
Yeah, I think so too, but my question is... Where do they take him from there after he wins?
They're gonna find him. He's actually fined right now. He doesn't know it yet. He's gonna walk out to the cage. He's gonna get a fine walking out. He's gonna end up owing the UFC money. I hate to say this, but they wanna fuck Al every which way they possibly can. So I hope he has one of the most tremendous knockouts. I don't have anything against Felder, but I hope Felder comes near death and he comes back. You know what I mean? I just want somebody with Iaquinta's voice, all right, with his stance and the mercurial way that he deals with things, and he has his heart on his sleeve. I want him to be in a more and more bigger and bigger position to tell the UFC to go fuck itself. That's the anarchist in me. All right, what do they do after this? They probably cut him. I don't know. Dana's crazy, and he hates.
The only reason why I ask you that is because he said he wants no part of Khabib on the MMA Hour. You know, his exact words were, "I don't want any part of him. Did you see what he just did to Barboza? I want no part of that."
Yeah, so then fuck it. So have him move up to 170 and beat up people there. I don't give a shit. He's entertaining. Belts don't mean anything. Tommy, we talked about this. All right, come on, stop.
We did. So, all right, again, man, we're just picking the same people, man. It's not making for interesting shit, but we haven't been wrong before when we've both picked the same.
When we go in lockstep, I think we got like a 90% pick'em ratio. It's been crazy. You know what I mean?
So we're gonna close this out with two more fights. Carolina against Felice. Now Felice is finally getting a name. This is her moment in the sun now. Do you think she squanders it, or do you think she ends up beating Carolina?
Well, I think Felice's new nickname is menopause. Like I don't know what exactly is actually gonna happen. Felice is 900 years old in fight years as well as in actual human years. I've never been sold on Felice. I was one of those dickheads who I didn't care when she was crying. I don't know. I've never, she reminded me of like a blonde Magana. I could never shake that.
I don't know. But she wins fights.
Yeah, and I get that, and aside from my natural hatred on white folks that braid their hair and or have dreadlocks, you know what I mean? I don't know. But then on the flip side, if you've been watching Twitter, Carolina's been posing for more pictures than Alistair Overeem at a Yeezy concert. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's like the two of them are trying to. I just have a bad taste in my mouth for both of these. I hope the lights turn off or some shit while it happens and Sting beats him up with a bat. I'm telling you, brother, I'm not even trying to be crazy. I can't stand either one of them. But if I had to choose, I feel like the Polish anger is going to win out. But who knows?
But this is what Felice wanted, right?
Has Felice been taking her Boniva? That's my question. Or is she going to have brittle bones?
God.
She's sponsored.
It's so awful.
She's sponsored by the old lady maxi pads, not the actual maxi pads, but the pads that they give the old ladies for incontinence. So yeah, that's it. Don't ask me why I know that. That's even more disturbing, Pratt. It's a big question.
Who
do you got?
I don't know, dude. I think Carolina's just gonna outpoint her to death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think she's gonna do.
You know what I'll be doing during this fight? I'll be getting more nachos.
Sleeping?
And salsa. Yeah, I'll be carving up during this fight. I'm sorry. That'll be me. Probably getting some chicken wings.
But like I said, this is what she wanted. She wanted a big name. She wanted the UFC to start giving her some recognition. So I think if she makes it, I think if she makes it a good fight, they might give her another tough opponent after that. But if she just gets destroyed,
might have her fight Neil Diamond at the Copacabana. Like, what do you do after this? I don't give a shit if you make it a good fight. What are you talking about? There's enough ladies in this division where. Don't get me started. I feel like this fight, you could have sold like hairbrushes, or matches, or fucking disposable umbrellas during the airtime that this is going to have on FS1, and it would have been a better use of Fox's time. I hate to say this, I love fights, but what the hell is going on here? All right, there's an oversaturation. I don't know. Sell a couple My Pillows. Fuck, Tommy, I don't know. I'm sorry. I should shut up. I should.
Let's close it out with Ray Borg against Brandon Moreno. What do you think? I think Borg is going to beat Moreno if Borg makes weight.
That's a big
because, besides DJ, I think Borg's probably the best guy in that division. What do you think?
I agree, but I hate that, I have to go back into my bag of fandom to not really discount even this fight as they're both extras out of the new Sicario movie. Like what? How are these It's just a testament to it's everybody else, and then it's DJ in that division. You know what I mean? And I hate to say that, but they couldn't rub two nickels together and gain some stardom. Am I wrong here? I love him to death, but could you point him out of a crowd?
Yeah,
right?
I don't think you're wrong at all.
I hate that, and I think it's more a function of the UFC fucking up than it is because they're both tremendous fighters. But I don't know, man. You should have a late night television show on Spanish television on Telemundo. You fucking
and I mean the biggest news coming out of that division is the fact that the DJ TJ fight is off because DJ had to have the shoulder operated on. That's the big news.
That's legit the biggest move in that entire division. You're spot on with that. That's what it's the biggest news is negation. That should tell you the state of that division, which is criminally underrepresented with the UFC for the level of skill. That could be a whole another show another time. But I think I got Ray Borg winning this one because, like you said, if he's not anybody not named DJ, Ray Borg is going to be the number 2 guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that we even have to think that. Do you want to talk about one more before we close this out?
I want to hear you say Lozon's opponent's name, but yeah, you can pick.
No, I wasn't going to pick. I wasn't going to pick Lozon and Grutzenmacher. I wasn't going to pick that one.
I don't know why. That just makes me laugh. That name.
No,
so fun.
I was going to pick Alex Caceres against Artem Lobov.
Oh my God! Talk about bums needing work.
Yeah,
are you kidding me? There's some.
Listen to these records right here.
Oh God.
You got Bruce Leroy at 13-11.
Oh God.
And Artem at 14-1.
Yo, you know what? There's a couple of longshoremen that are breathing sighs of relief that these two guys are employed by the UFC and aren't out on the union line trying to get some fucking jobs out on the docks. All right? What the fuck are these two guys doing? Prize fighting. Okay?
I don't know. I mean,
is there a Mendoza line in MMA? Is there one? Because isn't Artem Lobov flirting with that fucking thing? Come on, bro. Or is Magana?
Yeah.
Is it the Magana line? Is that the Mendoza line? And for those of you who don't know what the Mendoza line is, all right, use Wikipedia. All right, this is a sports show. Go fuck yourself if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's not that crazy of a reference, right, Tommy?
Yeah, no, it's not. And the funny thing when you mentioned about Magana, I think Artem's at least won a fight in the UFC, albeit by decision. He's won a fight. And Caceres, I mean, I don't want to say spotty at best because his record is abysmal, but his best years are behind him from the Ultimate Fighter season and when, just a little bit after that.
No, he's actually, you know what? I'm looking at Lobov's record, and I'm sorry to correct you. I don't mean to be a dick, but he's 14-15-1, and that extra loss is against hair loss. That shit's been receding, all right, since before Jesus left Chicago. What the fuck is going on? He had male pattern baldness in the 4th grade. Stop it, bro. Get out of here. You're looking like a
now here's my thing. My question to you: if he loses, do they cut him? Because this would be, 3 or 4 in a row? No,
you know why? Because they use him as a human carrier pigeon. They stuff messages for Conor in Artem's asshole. And then they send Artem, they slap him on the cheek and they say, go home, young bird. And please, give this boofed message to the guy that's holding up 17 divisions. So, yeah, there's no way.
Are we both going with Bruce Leroy here?
I hope so. You know, I'd be more interested in seeing Beck Rollins fight Artem Lobov. All right, that's how uninterested I am in this fight. I swear, I don't know.
Beck's got a tough one. Got a tough one with actually Evan Smith too.
Yeah, that's a hard fight.
It amazes me that fight is on the Fight Pass prelims.
It's ridiculous. It's criminal because I'd want to see that fight more than I want to see Carolina versus, fucking menopausal wonder herself, Felice Herrig. For God's sakes. All right. The only thing I want to see Felice Herrig do is open cans with a Joe. Like I'd pay her 10 cents a can for that. I'd give her Michigan prices for that sort of work. Nah, bro. Get out of here. Jesus Christ.
And you know who else I'm happy actually got a fight on this card? Zabit Magomed Sharapov. He finally got a fight.
Oh my God. You were waiting. You were just like, I practiced this phonetically. I put it in Google Translate. God damn it, Tommy. Hats off to you. Hats off. That's crazy.
I'm happy he finally got a fight.
I'm glad he got a visa.
For one.
All right, because that's ISIS. If there was ever ISIS, I think Khabib slipped his boy in there. All right, and then afterwards, they're just gonna go blow up a post office or something. I'm sorry, that was terrible. That's terrible.
Zabit's a Mark Henry guy, so you know where I'm going with that.
Whoa, you think so? Jesus Christ. Good God. He's also a part-time baker. I don't know. He just strikes me. He looks like a guy at the counter of Tops, or Stop and Shop.
I don't think he makes pizzas at Mark's Place in Woodbridge, New Jersey.
No, he's not Albanian, so he doesn't have all. He's not. Last I heard, you know what I'm saying? They run all pizza joints east of the Mississippi now. So.
Oh Lord. Well, it's 2-minute warning after dark because we have driven this train off the rails. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
fuck it.
This is a great show, dude. Big ups to Anthony Garrett. Good luck this weekend. Flu season is over, so he can get in there, get after it, take some heads off. I'm excited to watch that fight. I hope it's on NBC Sports.
It will be.
I really hope it's
on
there.
Even if it's not initially, he's going to do some crazy shit with that Muay Thai he's been working on, with the Matos Muay Thai, and he's gonna come out and they're gonna be replaying it. All right. It's gonna be a star-making performance.
I just want to give a special thank you to Jeremy Johnson, who is the PR guy over there at Shamrock FC. It's nice. He messages me, see if we can get these fighters on there. It's obvious that, Shamrock FC is the one steady organization that we keep getting fighters on here. It's great for these guys to get their name out, and it's very humbling that they ask us to help do that, and we hope to do that even more in the future. And, Shamrock FC, if you're listening, you want to fly the Pride Rules guys out to one of these events, we wouldn't say no.
Look at this. I was wondering where this is going. You're being way too nice. No, but then turn it around. But honestly, what I always love to see is when these smaller organizations are making moves and being crazy strategic and thinking outside the box in terms of getting their fighters publicity. And if I was an up-and-coming fighter in another life, and if I actually had athletic skill, a lot of ifs, I would love to see an organization that I was a part of, that I was trying to make my name in, trying to make a name for me, alongside me. The UFC used to do that, but that's another story. But it's always great, man, and we always appreciate them coming on. They're always great interviews. The folks that come on because they're hungry, they're eager, they got great stories, and this is what I got into it for, is to give these guys a platform, guys and ladies a platform. So keep it coming, guys. Thank you.
And for everybody that's listening, go to Shamrock FC's Facebook page. You'll be able to see the weigh-ins the night before the fights. Jeremy also does interviews with the fighters. It's great content. It's great up-and-coming fights that you get to watch. There are some recognizable names on there that are from Bellator. So it's a very good organization, and you'll see some UFC legends on there. Ken Shamrock is there all the time. They're always, taking pictures with Ken. So check out Shamrock FC, April 7th. You can watch that and the UFC at the same time. We are in the age where you can watch 10,000 things at once. Show Shamrock FC some love. April 7th, Shamrock FC 304. Brother, this was a great show. I had a lot of fun with you. I know you're a busy man. So hopefully, if we can get lucky, maybe we could squeeze another show in this week. If we can't, what are you going to do? We will be here on Monday, and we will be talking about the aftermath after UFC 223. Very excited
and Shamrock.
to talk about.
And the aftermath
and
of
Shamrock
as well.
That's
I'm
right.
excited.
Very excited to talk about who's going to be the new undisputed UFC lightweight champion, and his name will not be Conor McGregor.
Look at you.
So shout outs to our sponsors, the ones who keep the lights on for this podcast. 80K Fightwear, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, 2 Minute Warning Sports 360. For El Professor, Omar Sangarima, I'm the Reverend Tommy D. We are Pride Rules Podcast. Good night.